everyone, and welcome to a brand new episode of Comment Section. That's right. And it's one of my favorite things that we did last year. I'd like to keep going, even after we leave the show. I want to keep going. Remember that, people.
Yep. When we're recast, we're still going to be doing these special episodes.
Yes, whenever there's a reboot and there's people pretending to be us, there's like two things I really would like to have be an annual thing. And one is the Unwound Christmas
that was
special.
a good one.
And I really would love to just have a whole Comic-Con special. Just keep going.
Yep.
So yes, Comic-Con happened. Some stuff we were real excited about. Some stuff that was kind of missing. But
yeah, a little bit missing. And this isn't only a special episode. As special episodes go on this show, almost every episode is a special episode. It's special in a couple other ways. It's the second annual Comic-Con episode for the San Diego Comic-Con 2018. It's also episode 30.
It is? We're 30?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the big 3-0
yes.
for comment section. And that was all I had to say.
Yes.
Episode 30.
All right. So, now, Comic-Con was a big celebration, where everyone comes together. Whether you're a fan of comics and superheroes, it's just a gathering of fans. And unfortunately, I feel like we should start the show with we lost a fan, a pretty well-known fan of comic books and superheroes named Jon Schnepp. Now, have you ever heard of Jon Schnepp?
I haven't.
Okay, so Jon Schnepp passed away on July 19th at age 51. He worked on Space Ghost Coast to Coast, Aqua Teen Hunger Force, and directed episodes of Metalocalypse.
Oh, wow, okay. I'm a fan of all of those.
Okay. So, he also directed the documentary The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened? So, it was a documentary about Superman Lives. I believe we talked about it on the last episode.
Oh, yeah, we did.
We talked about how it was written by Kevin Smith. There was producer John Peters, who had the 3 requests: no suit, no flying, and he has to fight a giant spider.
Yeah, I remember that.
Directed by Tim Burton. I don't remember if I told you this. There was going to be a guest appearance by Batman, played by Michael Keaton.
Oh, really?
Yes,
wow.
In this movie.
That is amazing.
So, and what this documentary did actually was, there's an infamous photo of Nicolas Cage as Superman, because he was going to be Superman.
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't know if you've seen the photo.
A photo of Nicolas Cage as Superman?
Yeah.
That's what I haven't.
That's the infamous one.
Oh, yeah, wow. I had never pictured Superman with that long of hair.
Well, he did have that in the 90s.
In what iteration?
When he was killed off and came back.
Oh, okay.
That's what Justice League could have had.
Wow.
So that was an infamous photo.
Yeah.
Of Nicolas Cage as Superman, and there's even a story in the documentary where Bryan Singer directed Superman Returns. People were asking him about why he changed the costume.
Yeah.
And, Superman Returns is not really that different from the costume. It's a little bit like going from the Adam West suit to the Ben Affleck suit.
Yeah.
It pretty much is the same thing, but it's modernized. It's not the cloth. And Bryan Singer pointed we could have had that. Mm-hmm. And Jon Schnepp actually went in, and because he was interested in this movie, and looked in, and then we kind of got more of what Tim Burton was going to do. So you can kind of see a real Superman
so
looking
like
suit.
This?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
that's pretty cool.
So also, besides his work as a director, he, starting in 2013, was a regular on AMC Movie Talk, which is now Collider Movie Talk, which is a YouTube channel. And starting in 2015, he also hosted for AMC, and then later Collider, this show called Heroes, which talked about superhero news and stuff like that. And I even got a Twitter question answered on that show.
Really?
Yes.
Amazing.
So, and I didn't agree with him all the time on the show, but what I loved seeing was, his passion for superheroes and films, and it made it so that, whenever he didn't like something, it made it more special when he did like something.
Right.
So, didn't agree with him all the time. We both hate The Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
So, that was the thing. He was fun to see, interesting, and you could see the love for film he had. Mm-hmm. And whenever you watch the shows that he was on for AMC and later Collider, it looks like friends just talking about movies. It wasn't like, as great as it wasn't like Siskel and Ebert, where it's just like, okay, let us look at this. It was just like friends talking about it, whether it was him with John Campea, Christian Harloff, Mark Ellis, Dennis Zhang, or Robert Meyer Burnett, or Amy Dallin. It looked like they were having fun. So much fun that I was like, you know, a lot of people are doing shows where they talk about entertainment news.
Interesting.
That looks like it would be fun to do. So I had that rallying around
So a little bit
in
of
my
inspiration.
head. So now you know the secret origin of this show.
Yeah.
So, without Jon Schnepp being one of like the biggest inspirations for this show, we don't even know if we would have this show.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
there we go. Unfortunate that he passed away. And we're saying condolences to his fiance and family, and he had a lot of medical bills. Right now, there's a GoFundMe campaign, and last I checked, fans have raised. There's a $200,000 goal, and last I checked, fans had raised $169,000 for that goal. So, and also Kevin Smith has did tribute to him at Comic-Con when he had like a moment of silence and stuff, and even Henry Cavill, Superman himself, posted on Instagram about the passing of Jon Schnepp, about how he was a fan of stuff, him talking about superheroes. And, you know, Schnepp had this term he would use to describe a fan called a sweaty, where it's a little bit like you get so excited, and you just like, for example, if you talk about Star Wars, you get so into it, you start sweating.
Absolutely.
And it's a little bit, and it also meant like whatever it is, your fandom is a part of who you are.
Right.
So he was the king of the sweaties, and so we say farewell and thank you for the memories to the king of sweaties, and hopefully, because you inspired this show, we do you proud. There might be a little bit of sweat on this show, especially when we talk about the animated Batman Hush movie. So, yeah. So I want to pay tribute to Jon Schnepp and his influence on this show. And, yeah. So,
Very, very good. Very important stuff.
so I don't know who we want to have go first for topics.
You know, since there are a lot of obvious things to talk about based on what this show is and what we talk about, there's a lot of obvious things to talk about. I'm guessing a bit we have a lot of the same stuff.
Yes.
So I'm going to defer to you. What do you think we should start with? What's the first thing we should talk about here? Because
There's
almost
something that happened around Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And I was not happy about it. And we have an update today.
Really? Today?
Story is that Comcast pulled out of the bidding war for Fox.
Oh, right.
See, you know, we know that in December that Disney made the offer to purchase Fox, and then Comcast had backed off at that time because it didn't look like Comcast could get Fox because the government was trying to stop the AT&T Time Warner merger.
Yeah.
And then once that AT&T Time Warner merger was approved, then they had it where Comcast was just like, oh, we can go for it. So they went for it.
Right.
But instead, they've decided to give up and just go after Sky News. Now, because of Comcast, Disney originally offered, when we did our special, they offered $52.4 billion in stock.
Gosh.
But now they're going to have to pay $71.3 billion in cash. So, the United States Department of Justice gave antitrust approval for the Disney-Fox merger, and along with many other government agencies. So a lot of people are approving it. So it's looking more and more like it's going to happen. And the Fox shareholders vote was today.
Okay.
And Fox voted to go with the Disney offer.
So it's official?
It still has to go through a few government things. But yeah,
it's looking more official.
It's pretty official.
So that's it. We did a special on it earlier where we were speculating on it, and it's looking like Disney will own Fox.
Yes,
that's the deal.
Well, they'll own the assets.
Right,
Fox will still exist with Fox News,
the properties,
Fox Sports. That's it.
So,
congratulations,
we're gonna get
killing a 100-year movie studio.
We're going to get decades of Wolverine fighting with Spider-Man and Iron Man and flying through the sky. That's what they're gonna do. They're gonna give them all flying
apparently.
abilities.
So knowing this, before I get into it, what are your thoughts now on? It's pretty official. The Fox shareholders have approved. The government has given a lot of approval.
Yeah, well,
it's going faster than I thought it would. I think it's because of the 18-time Warner merger.
Right. Yeah, they gave some push.
I believe that started in 2016, so it took a while.
Well, I really was pretty dang on board with you, and still almost entirely am on board with you that you need some movie competition to keep all of this bustling. To keep for MCU to keep like coming out with Marvel Studios coming out with good movies. They need like competition from Fox's and also like DC. If they were stepping up and giving them competition, it would be fine. But since we don't see that as a good competition at this point, I agree with you that there's a worry that they might not be producing as good of movies. I was thinking recently though that I'm not entirely positive that this is necessarily going to be like an end of an era of superhero films, just because we might be in a different era than we were back in like 2000 when the era of superhero films last like ended temporarily. So, and part of that is temporarily. There could be some resurgence that brings them back in some time from now, but I just don't necessarily know. Like, I think superhero films might still be really, really popular for a long time. It's just maybe the quality might go down, but I'm not necessarily sure if it's going to be an end of an era. And it's just a hunch. I don't really know, but it's hard to imagine it all just dying.
Well, this is the day we will look back as the day the superhero movie genre died.
Yeah.
Which is sad to talk about, but, I mean, this is it. It's really been building up towards this. When you had the crumbling of the DCU, Sony was struggling, so they made the deal with Sony. And now we lost the competition.
Yeah. You know, I do suppose you're right. Like, people don't want to go see bad movies, so they don't see the DC movies, clearly. Like, Justice League lost money, right?
It sounds like it broke even.
But yeah, and it's one of the most expensive movies ever made, and it didn't do that well. So, like, clearly people won't see movies if there's not a good reputation for the movies. So you could be right that, like, after a few bad Marvel movies, if that happens, people will stop seeing them.
Like, when you look at what Marvel had working against it, which helped make them great movies, is that they had the characters no one wanted. They had Iron Man, Captain America, Thor, and it forced them to create great movies because it was a little bit like, well, kids are going to see Spider-Man no matter what. People will see Batman. Iron Man, another Hulk. You know, it forced them to create great movies, and look, we've seen what happens when they have competition. When they had competition with other superhero movies after they launched the franchise. 2013, you had Iron Man 3 going up against Superman Wolverine. 2014, you had Captain America the Winter Soldier going up against Spider-Man and X-Men. 2016, Civil War. You were going up against what people thought would be the biggest superhero movie of all time, Batman vs. Superman. Even 2017, you had Thor and Hulk, almost people's least favorite Avengers, going up against Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what happens when they don't have the competition for the sequels? You have Iron Man 2, Thor the Dark World, Age of Ultron, and I'll say it, Ant-Man and the Wasp, which totally sucked. Yeah, people like it now, but let's give it a little bit of time. I'll just say that.
We'll have to wait on that.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is
I haven't seen it.
It sucks. And it's just like, this is it. I mean, what is the point anymore of having the X-Men and Deadpool in there, because the crossovers are going to suck. Yeah. Because there's not competition. There's no reason now for them to do great. So my guess is that I hope we'll at least get one good crossover. But after that, we're going to see a drop in quality. It's destined. There is going to be a drop in quality. This deal means that the X-Men, not only has the X-Men franchise ended that started in 2000, the Marvel Cinematic Universe now will end. It's coming to a close.
How long do you think it'll take? Like, how many more movies or years?
I think because the audience, like, we're not in an era anymore where you can just, like, put out a famous character and people will go see it. Like, people, you know, it's expensive to go to the movies now. I think that what you'll see some lesser quality movies, and it could happen where maybe they're still trying with their solo movies, but they're kind of just throwing together the sequels.
Yeah.
Like we've seen with Iron Man 2 or Age of Ultron. So I think what will happen is people will go to the big ones, disappointed, and then they won't go to see the other, like the solo movies. So then I think it will drop down to 2 movies a year, then 1 movie a year, finally 1 every few years, and then it'll be a whimper, but you think that's what's going to happen? Yeah. Okay. And then I think what will happen is that we're going to go to a spot where maybe every 5 years it's just like, oh, we're getting a Batman movie. Remember, it was 6 years ago we had a Spider-Man movie? Maybe in 7 we'll have an Iron Man movie.
Yeah.
I think the only ones that are safe from the collapse of the genre will have, the inevitable collapse, is Batman and Spider-Man and Iron Man. And some people will be like, well, what? Robert Downey Jr. is leaving. Well, it doesn't matter because there won't be an MCU anymore. Right. It won't happen. Yeah. So it's just like, God, we're going to have movies like Iron Man 2 Age of Ultron, then it's going to fall apart, and then it's over.
When do you consider the last time the genre died? You said something like 2000? Was it?
Well, 2000 is when it started.
Oh, right. Started. Okay.
We weren't, like, we could do Superman and Batman, but we weren't at a time in special effects where we could do the Marvel characters. Yeah. The special effects now is the time where they can do those things. Like, James Cameron was going to do a Spider-Man movie in the 90s, and I'm just like, how is that going to work? There's no way. Like, he would probably be like the 70s show where he just swings from one building and you only have it one time and it's super dangerous. Yeah.
To me it's just like, it just seems like if it died, like if we got to a point where there was only one superhero movie every few years, I feel like there would be some resurgence at some point. Like,
I think it won't stay dead, but because things happen in phases.
Right, this
era that started in 2000 is coming to a close. We're going to have it where maybe 10, 15, 20 years it's like, Batman movie. 5 years later, Spider-Man. Oh, man, 8 years later, Iron Man. Man, remember when we used to have so many? And then maybe once DC can get its act together, maybe then that, but it will take a while. Yeah. And I almost had this thought. It's not, and there's maybe 2 positive ways to look at it. Number 1, if this thing has to happen, which I don't want it to, I think we'll get I'm hoping we'll get one good crossover with Avengers and X-Men, and I just hope before it ends. Maybe this would be a nice way to cap off that era. Like, I would love a Spider-Man Wolverine team-up movie directed by the Russo brothers. Just them, directed by the Russo brothers.
That sounds good.
It's just like, pump that out before the quality drops.
To at least get one good thing out
of it. Let's get at least one good thing.
Yeah. Well, how likely do you think it is that, like, if this goes through quickly, that they'll, like, squeeze some of these characters into one of the already announced movies?
Well, there are announced movies. There's Avengers 4, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, Guardians, and that's it.
That's it. I thought there was maybe a few other ones.
It feels like they're gonna wait until after Avengers 4 because it might be a spoiler. Like, hey guys, Iron Man 4's coming. Well, that's a spoiler.
Yeah. Okay. So they're purposely not announcing things. I see. Okay.
So I had this thought. Yeah. I don't like this thought, but it's just like, if we want to look at the positive side, I look at reboots like Spider-Man Homecoming or the Joker and Suicide Squad, and it's a little bit like they're afraid of being compared, so they're trying to do something completely different, where Spider-Man is no longer Spider-Man, he's Little Iron Man. Joker is just now a gangster. Yeah. And just think, well, look at Joker, you had Cesar Romero. Jack Nicholson, Heath Ledger, they still were true to the character.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, but there was a gap where they went away for a while.
And maybe that's what it takes for them to be, like, true.
Maybe it would be best for it to go away for a while, for people not to be afraid of being like... Because I'll just say, I think that Marvel's afraid of being compared to the same Raimi trilogy.
Yeah.
So they're just like, we gotta do Iron Man, even though it's redundant, because now we have, like, 3 Iron Man. What if you got War Machine?
Yeah, I mean, I've always had a problem with, like, being too afraid to be similar. I don't know. So I would like... That could be a positive.
I mean,
sure.
I wish this whole thing would stop of just being like, oh, we're afraid of being compared. But it's just gonna be. Otherwise, don't work on that movie.
Yeah.
Like, if you're just like, oh, we're so afraid of being compared to the Sam Raimi Spider-Man, then don't work on Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's like, Batman's gotta have a Batmobile. Batman's gotta have Commissioner Gordon. Batman's gotta have Alfred. You gotta do that. So, I think this is the end. Unless... But boy, that's a very hypothetical thing. Unless DC is secretly planning something, which we could talk about later.
Yeah, we'll probably get... Because this is by the way, this is a great way to start a series of episodes about being excited about comic books.
Yes!
Comic book characters.
Yes, guys! The end is near, but let's just enjoy what we got.
Yeah, let's do that, actually.
It's like, remember these end of the world movies where it's just like, well, the end is coming, but let's just enjoy what we got.
Yeah.
Just enjoy. I mean, when you think about whatever happened, we've had a great library. When you look at 2000 to whenever this ends.
Yeah. Today. It's over today. No. Yeah, we will, and let's get excited about it because there's probably going to be multiple parts ahead, and
yes,
we have a lot to talk about.
I have a feeling it's going to be a trilogy.
Yeah, we'll see. But I wouldn't be surprised. Lots of trailers.
Remember last year when we just started speeding up through some at the very end? We're just, okay, let's talk about this.
We were thinking of recording a Comic-Con episode, right? And
yes, we were just getting one.
Yeah, and we recorded 3.
Yes.
And I think they were long episodes.
Yes, they were pretty long.
So, and we're over 20 minutes in, and...
Oh, my God.
And what is that, one topic? Sort of 2, yeah.
So, you can go now. What is something you would like to bring up?
I'll bring up, like...
So many things to talk about.
I'll bring up, like, first thing on the list, and it's probably going to be something that's on your list.
Okay. One of the things I'm curious now.
One of the things they showed at Comic-Con, the San Diego Comic-Con 2018, which is the point of this episode, is the new Aquaman trailer.
Yes, they showed Aquaman.
They did. A first look. I'm guessing you've seen the trailer.
I have seen the trailer a couple times.
Yes. I saw it once. And hard studied it.
I rewatched it last night, and I made some notes, which I will bring up, because I was late at night when I was writing these. Some of them are not going to make probably any sense to a more awake mind, but...
Yeah. Well, we'll try our best. Well, okay, so... I guess I'll just... My thoughts, like... So the trailer. At the beginning of the trailer, it made me really think... I'm not looking forward so much to the cheesy childhood. It started with, like, a childhood... So you could tell that the origin story was going to be him as a child. That part looks a little cheesy to me. I don't know. Like, it's always a hit or miss with, like, child actors. And I think a lot of movies... I don't always care for, like, flash forward kind of things where it takes place. And, like,
well, yeah, his parents, that's a big part of what he's going through in the story.
I have never read an Aquaman comic.
Well...
So... so I maybe shouldn't start with that, but, and another... It's cliche... It's overdone to complain about this kind of thing. It looks like such a heavily CGI movie. Like, it's just...
He is the king of Atlantis.
Yeah, and I realize that there's no other way you can do it. There's no other way you could do it. And so I think that what that really means is, like, the story has got to be really good. Otherwise, it's just going to look like a fake... I liked Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. But one of my complaints about it is there are moments where it just felt like they were walking around in like a blue screen room, like when they were on the planet, and it looked like too bright and sunny and fake that it was kind of abrasive. But I like the story, so that's why I say like, and I mean of course DC has got to tend to this advice in general. They've got to put out some good stories. But yeah, it's gotta be a pretty good story because of that. But I know I liked Jason Momoa's Aquaman from his performance in Justice League, and it looks up
Remember
to par
him in
in this
Batman
one.
vs Superman?
He
He just stared and swam away.
Oh yeah,
Remember all that build-up? Just like, oh my god, Aquaman's gonna be here, and then it was
right. Yeah, that was it.
swim away.
Yep. And you know, I loved his performance.
It was amazing.
It was.
His eyes lit up like a deer in the headlights.
And it was beautiful. But yeah, he looks up to par in this as well, and hopefully his performance sticks the way it is. I'll have to wait and see with this one. And while it does look like it could be a pretty cool story, so I'm anticipating it slightly. But I don't necessarily think there's anything here that's going to save DC.
The damage has been done.
Yeah.
So I will talk about that later. But for this trailer, I thought I did a good job of explaining his origins, and it showed, showing his mother and father, kind of showing like how he was a lighthouse keeper and his mom was from the sea. It really goes into like how in Justice League he has feels like abandonment issues about how his mom just left him because she had to go back to Atlantis. And I thought that it did a good job of showing that his stepbrother Orm will be the villain, and his goal of I think it was destroying the surface world. That's always the goal of Orm. He's got one goal.
Yeah.
And it's to destroy the surface world. Plus we have oh my god, Black Manta, I'm pretty sure. Yes, it has to be his name, right? Black Manta, iconic Aquaman villain. I'm blanking on his name.
Looked really Black Manta looked really cool.
Yes,
and yeah, that was exciting.
It feels like those are his two most iconic villains, and it feels important to have them in there. I am a little surprised they didn't change it up to make it to where Orm was Black Manta.
Oh, yeah, again, I don't know many Aquaman characters, but
so it looks like Arthur's also going to struggle being from two different worlds, the sea and the land. And it looks like Superman 1978 by Richard Donner, Batman 1989, and Wonder Woman 2017 by Patty Jenkins. Which feels like they're putting everything in there and making the most iconic version of the character. And it's just like, well, if this is the only one, we've made sure we put everything in there.
I probably was a little cynical going into this trailer, and at the end I was like, that's pretty cool. And I was trying really hard to be critical and failing a little. But yeah, come to think of it, like putting the most like iconic villains in it's a good sign, I think. Like that they're really trying to make an Aquaman movie, because there's probably not going to be an Aquaman 2.
Well, maybe, but not with this crew.
Yeah.
And it also feels like it has a vision, unlike other DC films, which are just trying to copy Nolan or Marvel.
Yeah.
So, let's talk about a box office for Aquaman. I saw... How do you think this is going to do? Because I saw so many people being like, well, this Aquaman trailer is making me wonder, contradicting my hatred of the DCEU. How well do you think Aquaman will do at the box office?
So you're saying this trailer, in general,
I saw people
got pretty good reactions.
People liked it, but they're just like, it's a little bit like, we've been through this before, guys. We have a good trailer.
Oh yeah, because they have good trailers. I mean, they only have a. I'm trying to think. I mean, are people gonna see Aquaman if they didn't see Justice League? Like, that's just...
No, of course not.
Yeah, that's kind of that. I was trying to think of some way that this helps.
Someone else has also... I've heard this on other places. Do you know what's coming out the same day as Aquaman?
Oh my, is something big coming out?
Many big things are coming out.
When is it coming out again?
I believe it's December 21st.
Oh... That's a big release time.
I'll bring it up real quick. Other people have been bringing this up, and I'm just like, oh, that's not good.
Yeah, I'm sure
because that's the big. That's his big day.
Yeah.
So in December, but basically that weekend you have Mary Poppins Returns.
Oh. And people go see these.
And Bumblebee, the Transformers spinoff.
Oh. Yeah, people will see those.
Before that, you have Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
I was actually expecting something maybe bigger that I would be excited for, which makes me think, like, I'd easily see Aquaman over those, but that's me.
I would, but are other people or just
yeah,
like...
I know.
Here's the thing.
And Aquaman has a weird reputation, and since no one saw Justice League, maybe a lot of people don't have that different idea of it yet.
I just think with DC, the DC Extended Universe, it's done. It's over. The damage has been done. Like, I mean, you turned off people with Man of Steel. You turned even more people off with Batman vs. Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a little bit like, I mean, you had those chances, and it's a little bit just like, even now, I don't think that Ben Affleck Batman movie could save it. I think it's a little, maybe if they had scheduled it to where it was, well, what they should have done is instead of making The Dark Knight Rises, they should have made that Ben Affleck Batman movie instead.
Yeah.
But it's a little, maybe they should have scheduled Batman between BVS and Justice League. But it's a little bit just like, you had your chance.
Yeah.
You kind of blew it. It's a lost cause now.
Yeah, it feels a little weird to have, like, built your universe without having a solo Batman movie.
I don't think they needed it because we had just had the Nolan trilogy.
Yeah, I guess if I'm putting myself in the place of back at the start of that.
Yeah.
But it was recent.
But it's just like, but what they could have had is having a solo Batman movie between either between Man of Steel and BVS or between BVS and Justice League. It could have redeemed it for some people, but now it's just a little bit just like, well, I've seen this Batman 2 times. Well, at 1 time. Well, 3 times with Suicide Squad. I think it was they had hope for Man of Steel, then BVS and Suicide Squad, and we can throw in Dark Knight Rises too.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit just like it's too late.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty excited for Aquaman at this point.
I think I'll like it.
It was one of the first topics we brought up because of me being excited that James Wan was directing a large superhero
Do you remember
film.
what was going to be our original topic, but then we called it off because it wasn't going to happen?
In, like, episode 1?
Yes.
I don't.
We were going to have a topic that we were planning for, but at midnight, they worked it all out.
Oh, what was it? I forgot.
There was going to be another writer's strike.
Oh, okay.
And we were planning just like, oh my god, guys, we were so screwed! But then they worked it all out.
Yeah. We were almost going to have to go on strike because we're the writers of the show.
Yes, we are.
And it is scripted.
Of course it is.
Yeah. Hopefully before the DCEU dies, Aquaman will be really good because, again, maybe my quick peek at the trailer didn't sound like it, but by the end of the trailer, I was, like, pretty dang excited.
I like it. I think it's going to be good.
Yeah, I think I'll like it. Another thing that might have made me cynical, I don't know if we want to move right into another topic, another DC trailer. Did you see the Shazam trailer?
I did see the Shazam trailer.
Wasn't a fan of that one.
Well, do you want to talk about it first, or do you want me to go first?
Let you go first.
Well, as we've said on this show, I am a big fan of superheroes.
Yeah.
But yet there's one
Yeah.
that I don't like. And his name was Captain Marvel one time, and now he is known as Shafreakin' Zam. Okay, here, I'll just talk about the trailer. I'll just say this about the trailer first, because we'll go a little bit in chronological order of the trailer. So I see it, I see the thumbnail, I'm just, oh god, it's Shazam, which we both, I think, no matter what, whether the movie turns out to be good or not, doesn't matter. This movie should not be made.
Yeah.
So, I watched the trailer just like, okay, I don't like this character, but let's give this a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So the stuff with Billy Batson at the beginning was interesting with him at the foster home, and you saw him with this foster brother. Yes, I was going to say stepbrother, but no, it's foster brother.
Yeah.
And we had Easter eggs of Batman, Superman, which shows what will be his inspiration. And we saw having him defend his foster brother shows why the Wizard, also named Shazam, would... Guys, it's not their fault. He was Captain Marvel, but then he went away. Marvel copyrights. It's a whole legal thing. It's... the both Shazam now.
Marvel can have the name Captain Marvel. They can.
I think they've earned it.
Yeah.
So it showed why the Wizard would choose him. I'm just like, okay, this is interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that because I first saw this trailer and I was like, this could be good, and then we'll get to it, but and then I started the Aquaman trailer and it like did the opposite. Like I was still like I just still felt so negative.
Oh, I thought you were just like,
and then
in the middle of the trailer switched to Aquaman, just like, wait, what happened?
No.
Is it?
I mean,
oh my God, is he still really
there was an emotional roller coaster of being like, oh, Shazam could be good. Ugh. And then I started the Aquaman trailer right after, and it went completely back up. But I had to work out of the muck.
So when he became Shazam, oh my God. It was stupid, cheesy, and terrible. It shows why I hate this character. Which probably means that if you're a fan of Shazam, they probably got it right.
Yeah, is that accurate to the comic books?
That's Shazam. That's Captain Marvel.
I really didn't know that. I didn't know anything about Shazam.
And I would like Man of Steel to stand up. Man of Steel, the movie that started the DCEU. We've had a rough history, you and me. You are no longer the worst DCEU movie. This thing looks awful, and I have no interest in seeing this.
If all of the things that were in the last part of the trailer make the cut, like, there's no way I'm gonna like
like, remember when it's just like he's dancing and stuff, it's like, your phone's charged, your phone. The worst part was just like, hey, I'm a superhero.
Yeah. That stupid dance is so overdone. I don't know, why is that a joke in everything?
I don't know.
Like, I don't know.
And I have no interest in seeing it. I don't care if Ben Affleck shows up as Batman or Henry Cavill as Superman. That's not going to make me see it. There's only one way, and it's an impossibility. There's only one way I'll go see it.
He dies?
No, that's not even worth it. He does die in one of the worst comics I've ever read, and it's like one of the few good things when he's dead. I'll explain it real quick.
What's going to make you see it? What?
It's not going to happen, okay, guys? But the one thing that'll make me go see it in theaters. Now, if we hear that Ben Affleck or Henry Cavill have a cameo in it, then I'll pick up the Blu-ray and just fast forward to it.
Yeah.
But the only way I'd see it in theaters, and there's no way this is happening, guys, is if Batman, played by Michael Keaton, shows up. Because if you think about it, you put him in the suit, even though it's been 25 years, you wouldn't tell a difference.
True.
Or Tom Welling as Superman. But since it's not going to happen, I do not want to see this movie.
Basically what you're saying is that like it's an equivalent of like pigs would have to fly for you to see this. I mean, one of the kids from It is in this, and I'm not even going to see it. I'll be honest, I thought you were going to be its defender. No, I thought this was really stupid.
Yes. It almost looks like it's trying to be Marvel, but not understanding what makes Marvel work.
Like, to me... Like,
not Captain Marvel, we're talking about Marvel Comics.
Like, to me, I know you hate Spider-Man Homecoming, but to me, the humor is not that stupid. Like, I found the humor... I mean, it's not as, like, juvenile. I don't know.
I didn't think Spider-Man was as annoying as Captain Marvel was. I mean, Shazam was.
Yeah.
They're the same thing. But,
yeah.
Like, whenever he was on screen, I found him annoying.
Yeah. Yeah, you know. And like, wait, so, like, Shazam is like a kid?
He's a kid in an adult body?
Wow.
There's one good Shazam story.
Oh.
One, literally, there's another one where in Justice League Unlimited, Superman beats the crap out of him, but...
Yeah.
I mean, that's just because he's getting beaten up, and it's basically Superman's kick his butt, Superman. Yeah. But I mean, even in this show, Young Justice, which is a great show, which we'll talk about later, Young Justice. Oh wait, before we get into that, I want to talk about Captain Marvel's death.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a moment. It's from Frank Mills' The Dark Knight Strikes Again, the worst comic book ever made.
Oh.
It's trash. I hate it. It's just I just want every copy burned. But there's a scene where the Justice League is fighting. Now, what this has to do with the plot about Batman, I have no idea. But the Justice League is fighting some stuff, and Wonder Woman and Shazam are fighting some bad guys. And Shazam is getting injured and stuff, and Wonder Woman says, just turn to Billy Batson and you'll be fine. And he's just like, Wonder Woman, Billy's dead. And then she's just like, now I haven't read it in years because I've been trying to forget about it. And then he's just like, if I turn, I'm going to die. And then she goes, then let out one last roar, and he cries out, Shazam! He gets hit by lightning, poof, dead.
Oh no. Your last word is the name of yourself, your hero name.
Well, technically it was Captain Marvel back then, but...
Oh, okay.
This change of Shazam happened in 2011.
Oh, that's pretty recent.
But people will get confused.
Yeah, and I'm already confused because I think of Captain Marvel as the Marvel one.
I still think of whenever I hear Captain Marvel, I still think of Shazam. Yeah. But, he wasn't even really created by DC. He was created by Fawcett Comics, and then DC bought them and used them. That's why Shazam lives in Fawcett City. I don't know if they said that in the trailer, but...
I don't know.
I've watched it because I've seen people just like, man, this is going to be the best DC movie since Dark Knight Rises. I'm just like, what are you talking about?
That sentence kind
of... Now, Dark Knight Rises is just, how can this be anything's better than that? But, I'll just say Shazam looks better than Dark Knight Rises, but still, I would say it's the worst trailer DC's ever put out.
Yeah, I mean, I think you were maybe a bit spot on with they're trying to be Marvel, but they have no idea what they're doing with that. Because, Marvel's not quite goofy in that way, and even when
not
they
most
put out,
of the time.
I mean, even when they put out I would say Thor Ragnarok is Thor Ragnarok is basically a straight up comedy movie, but it's not. It's not Shazam.
That's the only comedy Marvel movie that works.
Yeah,
I think. But it's just. But again, that's part of the characters. He's a kid and an adult. But it's just, I get it. It's stupid. I have no interest in.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna see it. I don't think I'm gonna watch the trailer again. I'm just gonna forget about it.
What if we have what if there's another trailer drops? We should talk about it on here.
I guess I do that.
That could be our comedy story. Yeah. Another Shazam trailer.
Every trailer that drops is gonna be a comedy story.
Yes.
So in a way, I brought up two topics. So you can.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Well, I just like to transition things nicely.
It's just a transition. Have a little bit of flow.
Yes, we never flow.
No, it just goes. Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. You know what, guys? I'm going to have to turn off this You can leave that recording because I want them to hear what we had to go through.
You're going to have to listen.
Because this Sony camera, if it goes past 52 minutes, it will cut the video. And you know what it does? It corrupts it. So that every time I put it in an iMovie, it keeps crashing. That's what I have to go through.
This is the...
And there we go.
Yeah, we just had
had to shut off the camera because it corrupts the file.
You made us do Shazam trailer.
How dare you? Yeah, that's the one that did it.
Yeah.
So, wasn't the guy who plays Shazam in The Office? Didn't they say that Jim kind of looks like him? Isn't he Chuck?
He looked familiar
from the show Chuck.
Oh, maybe. I haven't seen that show. I haven't seen Shazam.
Didn't they say that, though, in The Office, though?
I remember that line, but I don't remember the actor just looks familiar to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So, let us move on to another trailer. Because there was a trailer for a new show coming out.
Oh.
Titans!
Okay, that's where we're at.
Titans! Yes, have you seen the Titans trailer?
Yeah, I saw it.
Okay, so... the Titans trailer, as I call it, the Lost Snyder Cut. So, you know what's interesting? I usually don't read spoilers for stuff ahead of time.
Yeah.
But I was just like, well, I'm not gonna get the DC Universe to have Young Justice, so what do I care if I get spoiled? And I read it, and it was a few weeks before the trailer came, I'm just like, this is fake. And the trailer, I'm just like, oh, this is real.
Yeah.
So, here's what we can you can talk about it first, and you can do your pros and cons.
Okay.
And I'll do the reverse. I'll talk about cons and pros.
All right. I didn't list... I wouldn't say I listed pros and cons.
That's what I did. I cared enough.
Well, I think that's probably because I wasn't necessarily in a mindset of pros. So I'll just... why would... Like, it was so edgy and dark in a way that I didn't understand. Like, it was for an audience of dark, brooding 15-year-olds. I can't imagine it being for any other audience. There's the corny F Batman line, which is something I don't care to hear again. It's like Teen Titans Go went brighter, sillier, and sunnier than I ever imagined Teen Titans being, and this went in the complete opposite direction, being darker and edgier than I ever imagined Teen Titans being, and completely avoids a happy middle that the animated series had, the original animated series had.
Although I do feel like I gotta say this.
Yeah.
I think it may hurt you a little, but I feel like Teen Titans, the show in live action, would be awful.
I get what you mean. Yeah, I mean it's a very like it's a Cartoon Network animated series.
Yeah.
It very much lives in that. But
I was surprised with the style they went with.
Yeah, with this show, this is not the type of seriousness that I'm a fan of at all. Just so dark and brooding and edgy, and like Robin, like the F Batman. Like I don't get it. It's so like corny. Like I don't need things to be these like comedy fests. Like I mean, it's not that I need comedic. Like I really liked Black Panther, and I find that to be one of the less comedic Marvel movies. Like it's pretty much a serious movie, but it's still colorful and has a great artistic style. It's joyful in ways, and it's not like edgy at all. Like it doesn't have this dark broodingness that I like. When things get too like serious in the directions that Titans goes, I can't take it seriously. Like if it's taking itself too seriously, I can't take it seriously. If it has more of a style and is still a serious movie, like I said, like Black Panther is, then I like it. A lot of times I like things with some comedy in it because that actually helps me take it seriously. Because personally in my life, I don't go around being serious. I'm always trying to think of jokes. I just like to joke around and be funny, and even in serious moments, I like to joke around. So when there's absolutely no humor or brightness in something, I just don't relate to it and I can't take it seriously. And this falls in that category to me, where it's just like, it's too dark.
Okay. So I'll do the cons first and then the pros, and we'll do some speculation, because why not?
Right.
Okay, so cons. As I call this trailer, the Lost Snyder Cut. Because that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
The Zack Snyder style isn't what I think of when I think of the Teen Titans or Titans franchise. Now, here's something to remember. Titans started development in 2014 for TNT, when Warner Brothers was going to have the DCEU be the Nolan Snyder style. So, when the show's being developed, they were putting all their chips on the Snyder and Nolan style, and well, we know how that turned out.
Yeah.
And it felt like they made Robin too much like Batman, and you know his action scene? It's basically a ripoff of the warehouse scene. Like, you look at it, it's basically the exact same thing.
True.
And, holy foul language, Batman. Titans is not an R-rated franchise, and not to be like, follow the comic book too much, but it's just like, can we stick to a little... I mean, I don't think even Batman should be dropping F-bombs.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that I even really care about sticking true to the comics, or the, like, they can do something different, but, like, that is just doesn't seem like a well-written line to me. That's really, like, corny. Who thinks that's cool?
I don't know.
Like,
but Batman did respond.
Really?
At Comic-Con. Gotham's Bruce Wayne actor David Mazouz responded.
Amazing, really.
He said to the Robin actor, he's like, I know the Robin actor is older than me, but screw you too and respect your elders. Which, you just imagine, that feels right.
Yeah.
So, let's go to some pros now.
All right.
Now, to be fair, I watched this after Ant-Man and the Wasp.
So anything would seem better?
So, I gotta say, Marvel sequels, their second movies suck. Can we skip Black Panther 2 and just go to Black Panther 3? Because
they can do a Windows or Apple.
Oh my
with
God.
Just skipping 9.
Winter Soldier is a rare thing. It is like, if Marvel's second movies are the DCEU, Winter Soldier is the Wonder Woman. It's the one where you're just like, oh, I guess that one did work out.
Yeah.
Oh my. So it's just like, as we head to an era where everything feels like it's part of the MCU, it's the goofy Marvel style, which, look, it works a lot of times, but it's just like, when everything feels like it's going that way, it is nice to have something different, and it's probably good to have something different.
Yeah.
So I remember just thinking, after Ant-Man and the Wasp, which is such a horrible movie, and then realizing, like, when we look at, like, the past 2 years of MCU, we had 6 movies. Guardians, Spider-Man, Thor, and Ant-Man were comedies. So 4 out of the 6 were comedies.
Yeah, that is a lot.
And only one of them, I think, worked.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and I just remember walking out Ant-Man and the Wasp, just being like, is it too late to go back to the Zack Snyder style? And then it's just like, oh, I guess we're going back to that for a little bit.
Yeah.
But maybe, especially with this Fox deal, as everything heads towards the MCU style, maybe it is good to have something different. And I'm gonna be honest, if we had to have it where it's an extreme, which is never a good thing to have an extreme, but if we had to have an extreme, I'd rather be super dark than super silly, just like, I can't stand it. I can't stand movies like Spider-Man Homecoming or Ant-Man and the Wasp. I hate them so much.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
Where the comedy, it's a little bit like, if you look at a movie like Ant-Man and the Wasp or Spider-Man Homecoming, if you find it funny, it'll work. If you don't, the plot is not very good.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of funny because if I were to have an extreme, I would hate both sides, but I would much rather have a silly extreme.
Oh God.
I really don't like super dark. Like, if it's taking itself that seriously, I'm just like, what do you, like, you don't deserve that serious. No one should be that serious. Like,
so a lot of people will be like, this is too dark, but I will say this, when you look at, like, Batman vs. Superman, Man of Steel, the problems with those movies is not that it was too dark. That feels like that's just a scapegoat. It wasn't that it was too dark. Like, when you look at Batman vs. Superman's problems, they are Superman's characterization, the fact that it was a 3-hour story that they then had to chop up to where it didn't make a lot of sense, and the way the story was structured, where we're waiting so long for action, there's confusing moments, scenes that were just Easter eggs that should have been cut, like Batman in the Desert.
yeah.
And part of it was that you had Chris Nolan as producer saying, oh, just let them do whatever they want, but it's just like, I still believe, had the studio been allowed to give Zack Snyder notes, that he could have made a great Batman vs. Superman movie. Like, I'm just imagining some studio notes being like, hey, Zack, this opening of Batman where it's kind of like where, how he's hiding?
Yeah.
That is good. But maybe we should have a little bit more action with Batman. Let's follow him somewhere else.
Yeah.
Zack, we love this party scene with Bruce and Clark. Maybe we should move it up towards within the first hour of the movie. Zack, this Batman vs. Superman fight, it's brilliant. Maybe let's move it up a little bit to where it's at the halfway point, and the other half is the team up. Zack, we're waiting so long for Ben to suit up as Batman. Maybe we should have a few extra scenes. Like, instead of maybe Wonder Woman, instead of Bruce Wayne emailing her, maybe he should go in the costume to go visit Diana. Where he talks about the other metahumans. Zack, maybe we should save the death of Superman for another movie, and let's not launch Justice League with that.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I feel like had they been allowed to give notes, that maybe that could have helped.
Yeah.
And it's just like, Zach, this Africa stuff is a little confusing. Maybe we should cut it or explain it a little bit better. Zach, this desert scene, it's a little too much. Maybe we should cut that. That'd be the nice deleted scene for the Blu-ray. Those are the things I imagine, like, an executive saying.
Yeah.
And it's a little, we're also just like, Zach, we like this first hour Man of Steel. Man, it's really good. You're doing like this Clark Kent who doesn't feel like he belongs. Maybe let's have Clark Kent in the movie to break up some of the action scenes so it doesn't feel like a Michael Bay movie. Zach, we don't know. We feel like maybe it's a little hard for our audience to believe that when there's a tornado, that a dad is just gonna stand his hand and be like, "No, don't save me. I'm okay. I'm okay."
Yep. Gosh, there's those note givers are so condescending yet polite.
Yes,
fantasy.
I just feel like it had those weren't the problems. It was the way the story was structured, Superman's characterization, and stuff like. It had nothing to do with the story being dark. Too dark.
Well, I feel like I use the word dark a lot, but I guess I really mean serious, like taking itself seriously, because I like dark things.
I mean, like the Batman stuff would work. Maybe let's make sure that it's a clash of two people. Let's make sure we have Superman be different.
I mean, to me, theme and style matters a lot. Like, I really don't often care about like plot as the most important thing to me. Like, it's just one component. So often theme and style matter to me a lot, and I really just wish that they'd throw a few more shades of color into these movies. That's really my issue.
So I'm just like, I think it's probably good for us to have something that's different instead of just copying the MCU style all the time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that.
And I also liked how in the trailer we see that Dick Grayson is a cop like he is in the comic books. And we see that Raven is seeking him for help. Beast Boy looks really cool when you saw him like leaping and transforming. And it is interesting how Starfire looks worried about her powers. Like,
true.
Makes me wonder if they're going to change the origin a little bit. So I do have some speculation. Because why not? It's Robin. It's close enough that we had the Batman on TV. So I was just like, I have a few questions to ask. A few things I wonder about.
Okay.
So, will Dick Grayson go through a character arc this first season where Robin is trying to get out Batman's shadow? Could Dick Grayson also be trying to get out Bruce Wayne's shadow? And did a rift between Batman and Robin start when Dick decided to go to school to be a cop and Batman felt betrayed having him abandon Gotham City? So could we have a whole story arc about there's the rift between Batman and Robin, Dick left and Batman feels betrayed.
I feel like there's kind of got to be with that foul language. There's clearly some rift between them.
Do you think we could also have it where Dick Grayson is also trying to get out Bruce Wayne's shadow, to where it's just like, I don't want people to be like, oh, he's basically Bruce Wayne's son.
Come to think of it, if it's Robin is an edgy teenager and he's trying to rebel, then it would maybe make more sense.
I don't think he's a teenager.
Well, I mean in terms of character, like an edgy teenager, he's acting like that because he feels like a rift and betrayed, and he's trying to break under his shadow. And the rest of the series isn't presented that way. It could be alright. But the trailer made it seem like the tone of the series is very, we don't even care!
To be fair, we're only seeing stuff from the pilot. We don't know how much has changed since between they wrote the pilot and when they wrote the rest of this show.
Yeah. Since it's a show, there is a lot more context that we don't know.
So, could Bloodhaven, which I'm assuming that's where this show takes place, because when Dick Grayson leaves Gotham City, he moves to Bloodhaven. Could Bloodhaven be a place where there haven't been any superheroes, so Robin chooses? Oh, guys, we almost had an earthquake.
We're good.
Ah, stupid box! So, could Bloodhaven be a place where there haven't been any superheroes? The Justice League never goes past this place. Could it be Robin goes to this place, has lost hope, and then wants to start his own legacy, and then the Titans will bring hope back to this city? Like, I almost feel like whenever you're doing an origin story for something, it should be a little dark, and then it's just like the hero brings hope. Like, Arrow is not as dark as it was in the first season because Green Arrow has done it for a while, and now he's giving the people more hope.
If they completely tone change through plot development, it would be really cool.
So, we see Robin is more like Batman in the show. Which also means, like, guys, if we're ever going to have Robin and Batman, do not make him too much like Batman. Because that's just...
Yeah.
It becomes boring then. Just two
Batmans.
Two guys just mad at each other.
Yeah.
Bad cop and better cop.
Yeah.
It's just like, you... tell me where the Joker is, or you're going to get some foul language.
F the Joker.
Yes. So, Robin is more like Batman in the show, and we know Jason Todd will be in the show. Jason Todd was the second Robin. When Dick Grayson left, Jason becomes Robin. So, here's a few questions asked. After Dick left, did Batman replace him with Jason? And has Jason been murdered by Joker already, and now Dick feels guilty about his death? Could that be why he's so dark, where it's just like... I tried to be my own person, and because of that, me and Bruce got this other kid killed. Like, Jason Todd is a darker character. He was never going to go on the path of Dick Grayson. He grew up a street kid, and he would never listen to Batman. He would get, like, too violent sometimes.
Yeah.
So death was kind of like what was going to happen to him, but could part of the reason why Dick is so just like Batman is because he feels like he betrayed, like he feels guilt about what happened with Jason.
You know, I hope this isn't a case of you're writing a better plot than they are, because that's a good idea. I don't know. It's all speculation from my point.
So, will this season be about Dick Grayson moving on from the guilt about the death of Jason Todd, and maybe having him become the leader of the Titans will help him deal with that?
I see. I mean, I guess they do have to come up with some explanation, you know, for why Robin is now a separate entity working separate from Batman, since that's kind of the scenario. But so all of these are good bets as to what might be the reason for separation.
So do you think maybe after he's had some time with the team on his own, do you think that working with the Titans can make him become the classic Robin again? By the end of the season, we see it as a gradual character development. By the end, he's the classic Robin again.
Yeah, I mean, I think TV needs a live-action classic Robin, and that might be something that would get me to watch this show if I knew that was going to happen, even though it would be a spoiler. But
so, do you think? I'm putting money on this right now. Do you think that at the end of the season, Dick will feel like he's enough out of Batman's shadow to where he'll start a new identity and become Nightwing?
Oh, okay. So you really think that's gonna happen?
I think by the end he'll become Nightwing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, certainly.
So it's a little bit like I've become my own person. I've graduated.
Right. Yeah, that's a good arc to get to Nightwing. Certainly fits the extremely dark undertones of.
Well, I mean, Nightwing's not really that dark a character. He's Robin, but he's got different.
I was just making a pun on the name.
Oh yes, yes. So we saw Starfire be a little bit kind of like worried about her powers. Now in the comics, she's an alien, but do you think they could change it to where she's a metahuman instead?
Oh,
where there was kind of like how Barry Allen became the Flash and stuff like that. Could she be a metahuman who is now dealing with these powers she suddenly has?
That would do something to explain that she's a little worried about her powers, because if it is canonical like in past iterations that she's an alien, why would she be worried about her powers?
I mean, maybe she came here maybe she wasn't like Superman who came here as a baby. Maybe she was an adult and came here, and now she has to adjust.
Yeah, maybe she isn't used to using her powers in that way, and I don't know.
Or kind of like Superman, where when he's in the Earth's atmosphere, he gets the powers.
Oh, okay. So there could be a way that she is still an alien, but she's still learning how to deal with the powers. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not that much of a stickler for source material, so I wouldn't mind if they changed that.
So, do you have a guess of which one? I got a feeling she could be a metahuman, not an alien.
I can kind of see that now that you say it, and I think it makes more sense. Like, I would probably bet on that more than the other now.
So, do you think this could go through a similar arc in Zack Snyder's DC movies, where we start darker in Man of Steel, and then by the end we'll be more hopeful?
But do you think that change in the movies was because of plan all along, or because people didn't like it?
I remember even before Batman vs. Superman came out, Chris Terrio said that it was going, like, BVS was supposed to be The Empire Strikes Back.
Oh, really?
Justice League was Return of the Jedi, to where it was more hopeful.
I didn't realize that it was planned out.
Yes.
In that case, I can see it. In that case, I can see that happening if they have a history of doing that kind of thing. If that's the DC brand, apparently now is starting really dark and getting more hopeful.
So, I'm betting Jason Todd will have died in the show. So, do you think he could return as Red Hood? Because in the comics, he dies and then he comes back and he takes the Joker's old identity of Red Hood. Because before, when you know how in Batman 1989 he falls into the acid?
Yeah.
When he did that in the comics, he was this character called the Red Hood.
Okay. So Jason Todd coming back as Red Hood. Yeah. That is, I haven't seen any of these DC shows, so I don't know how deep into comics they pull. Like, what % chance do you think that would be to happen?
I would say that he comes back as Red Hood.
Yeah,
I would say
the full thing.
80.
Oh, wow.
Yes, because it's almost like it's such a well-known thing about his character.
Okay. Yeah. See, I didn't know that, because I would have been like, it's like 40% chance. Oh. Like, I was gonna go a little under. It just seemed like a very complex plot thread, but I trust you.
Okay,
I trust you.
So we talked about the big arc is the Batman Robin rift.
Yeah.
And whenever you do like a season, you want to conclude your story arc, unlike Arrow season 6, which kind of just stopped, and you're just like, what?
Yeah.
That's me talking about Arrow season 6, guys. So, and here's the thing, they can't show Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think it's possible that as we go through this arc with Robin about becoming his own person, kind of gaining hope again, could the season finale take place during a holiday like Thanksgiving where, maybe they could show Alfred, because they were allowed to use Alfred in that Birds of Prey show.
True.
Could they have it where Alfred tells Dick that Bruce wants to see him again, and it ends with him going to Wayne Manor? Like, the final shot could be Dick Grayson going to Wayne Manor, and they're going to make up.
So, like, they can't show Batman, but they kind of work in a way to imply Batman as strongly as possible.
To imply, like, you know what? We've had this season-long rift, but now we're going to put things aside and try to work things out.
That's a good way to do it. I'm guessing, based on what you said, it's impossible. But what's the likelihood of doing like a Smallville, and you think it's just going to be a little hint, but it's like the whole thing.
The whole thing? You just see Batman?
Yeah.
0?
Okay. So 80% on the left, and then 0%.
0.
Okay.
Would it be interesting, though, because feels very DCE. What if that's the last thing they have Ben Affleck do? His cameo.
His cameo in Titans.
Although it would be cool, maybe if you see like they're going to put their problems aside, maybe you could see a silhouette of them on top of a villain. Like that's how they spend their Thanksgiving, is fighting crime.
Yeah. What's the copyright around silhouettes?
I don't know.
Especially when Batman is essentially a silhouette already.
Yes, I just don't know how much they're going to be okay with a silhouette of the Bat.
I don't know. Well, you certainly opened my eyes to ways that the plot could be quite good in this. because I had no hope when I just saw the trailer.
So, my final thoughts with the trailer are they're confusing decisions. I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. But Jeff Johns and Greg Berlanti are involved. I trust them. So there's moments I'm just like, oh, that's interesting. But I still have faith in them that even if it's not like a great show, maybe it'll still be watchable.
Okay. Yeah. I'm just over here too focused on tone. So I'll have to give it a shot no matter what, since so to not go in with bias.
Fortunately, you'd have to subscribe to the streaming service.
Oh, really?
Hopefully they drop it on iTunes.
Yeah, hopefully I can avoid that. Well, I went through 2 in a row. You could go through 2 in a row.
Okay. Well, this one's pretty short.
Okay.
Because I don't know how really have much to say. But there's a return of a TV show. Star Wars: The Clone Wars is returning.
Right.
There's going to be 12 new episodes, which they say will wrap up the season. Kind of sounds like there were plans, there were scripts written already for future seasons, but then the show got canceled. So they're going to use this chance to wrap it up, and there's going to be 12 new episodes on Disney's upcoming streaming service.
I did see that so many different streaming services.
Yes.
You can't subscribe to everything.
No, you can't.
Can we have, like, if there's a monopoly on anything, I want one streaming service.
Yes.
I don't want to have to subscribe to 50 things.
It was easier when it was Netflix and Hulu.
Yeah, I know.
Now
even Hulu is too much.
Now it's just so many.
Ugh. Yeah, like, I can't choose all of these, but yeah. I never watched the second iteration of the Clone Wars once it was in 3D animation, because it was past my time a bit, but I was quite a fan of the 2D animated Clone Wars.
I think, weren't those really short?
I think they might have been.
I feel like they were like 3 minutes.
Like they might have been between shows on Cartoon Network. I forgot.
I think I might have watched some during Justice League where they were during a commercial break or something.
Yeah, I actually, for some reason in my mind, maybe because as the younger I am, the longer each minute feels. So probably like 3 minutes probably felt like an eternity. But yeah, I completely forgot that those were like shorts.
Yes. They lived up to the name of shorts.
But yeah, I remember, like, at the time, liking those more than the prequel. Like, I thought that the Clone Wars animated series was, it was, like, my favorite Star Wars thing at the time.
That's good.
I meant new thing.
There's some people go, like, holding out their hand, like, trying to force choke.
I mean, like, the thing coming out. Like, that I like that better than the prequels.
Okay.
Not the original trilogy. You almost had me just absolutely hung out.
George felt a sense in the Force, and it's just like, I got one. It's part of the team. Midi-chlorians unite.
I meant, like, Attack the Clones was boring to me as a child.
Yeah, still boring today.
And then the Clone Wars was good. But anyway, yeah, I never watched the full-on show, apparently. But it's always good when something gets a proper ending.
Yeah.
I might be talking about a show getting a proper ending in a later part of this.
Well.
Yeah. Did you ever see any Clone Wars TV shows?
I've seen a little bit of it because it's on Netflix.
Right.
I don't really care that much about the prequel era at all.
Yeah, that's part of it.
So it's just like, hey, it was cool. I'll sit down and watch them eventually. But it's not like I'm dying. Like, there are people cheering, so excited for them. I'm glad.
Yeah.
But I'm just like, I'll get to it one day.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, the plot of that era is just not as interesting to me. It's, like, convoluted. And it's weird that it's such a... Again, I haven't seen
I like the Rebels show more.
I've only seen a little
of that. Which
that.
Takes place, like, right before the original movie.
There's going to be another new animated, but this one, 2D animated Star Wars show.
I thought I heard about
Is it
that.
Rebellion?
Something.
That one, I liked the animation style of a lot, so I was more excited for that one.
Is that one on the streaming service or Disney XD?
I have no idea. I wish I knew. I want to remember if I have the name, because I almost brought that up in a previous comment section, but it was like during a period where we weren't really, when we were doing a bunch of specials. Star. I just put Star. Star Wars. Star Wars new animated series. Resistance. Star Wars Resistance.
Does this take place during the current movie trilogy?
I think so, because there's BB-8. So everyone, plug your ears if you want to pretend that the current trilogy doesn't exist.
Wait, when would it be like before? Oh, I think I said Disney XD. Oh, thank God, it's Disney XD.
Yep, Disney XD.
The real Disney
set
channel.
time prior to The Force Awakens will feature BB-8 alongside ace pilots, colorful new characters and appearance of Poe Dameron, Captain Phasma. So yeah, it's going to be
voiced by the live action actors too.
Oh, really? That's really
so. That
really
probably
cool.
means it's one episode that they're in.
yeah, they can pull us in for one. I want to see. I really. Oh, that I should put in Resistance. I just want to look at the art style because Okay, there is basically nothing. That's all we have.
That's all we have. That's all we need.
Yeah,
all I need is just BB-8.
But yeah.
You think R2 and 3PO will show up, or no? Because they wouldn't have met them yet.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like it's pretty sequel trilogy.
I want to see how 3PO got the red arm.
Yeah. You no more of your JJ. No more mystery.
No more. That's like the only mystery I care about.
Explain
I don't care about Rey's parents. I don't care about who Snoke is. I want to know how we got the red arm and where did it go.
You know what's funny is that I unironically agree with you that I find the red arm more interesting than Rey's parents. Or
yes,
Snoke.
I just want to know.
Like, I didn't care that they didn't say that.
I would almost wonder, like, well, did he... No, never mind. Could it have been like, you know that how R2 and Chewie play that game in the first movie? And
the chess? Or...
Yeah, and Han says, Wookiees rip your arm off.
Oh, yeah.
I can't help but wonder, R2 save me!
They call back to the space chess on the Millennium Falcon so much.
Yeah, they do. They love that chess.
Yeah, it's just like, we already got that nostalgic callback. They do it like every single...
Yes.
Yeah, well, it's fine.
Do you think there's an app or something where you can play that? What it looks like?
I probably. They have everything Star Wars. So.
I guess so.
Well, we have maybe time for one more thing, maybe?
Sure.
I mean, I can throw some... Hopefully I don't have anything...
Not? I was more focused on the thing, but if we wanted to, I don't really have any comedies. Oh, I do have maybe one, but we'll focus on the San Diego Comic-Con stuff first. But I do have a few rabbit holes that we could end with.
Okay.
Like maybe 2 or 3 each episode.
Okay, well, I just thought of one thing that we talked about off the podcast, but maybe since we talked about it in a previous episode, we really roasted the Teen Titans Go movie.
Oh, yes,
and
we did.
Just recently, like, I don't know, yesterday? I don't know, pretty recently, reviews came in.
Yesterday.
Yeah, and it has like 90% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Check the score right now.
Like,
we are recording this on Friday.
I think we both really thought that everyone would agree with us.
Oh my God, it went up!
But 65% audience score, which of course is gospel.
Teen Titans Go to the Movies distills the enduring appeal of its colorful characters into a charmingly lighthearted adventure whose wacky humor fuels its infectious fun and belies a surprising level of intelligence.
Like, I would feel like I was like dreaming this, that it says it belies a surprising level of intelligence.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
It is one of the highest rated Rotten Tomatoes score DC movies ever. I think the only ones that beat it are the first Superman, Wonder Woman, Dark Knight. I think that's it.
I mean, jeez, like, it's almost all good critic reviews that show on
although it is only 51.
Okay, so I mean, it has. But I mean, it's probably not going to go down that much.
No. The only good thing I like is how they have Nicolas Cage as Superman.
That is pretty.
Who actually, when you look at the trailer, sounds like a really good Superman.
Yeah.
This is the guy who cast Michael Keaton as Batman, so...
Yeah, it's true.
Burton has an eye for casting. I don't know, maybe it's not him who casts, but it's just like whoever, if it's him or someone, they know what they're doing when it comes to casting.
And then maybe Nicolas Cage would have a role.
And it's always like these strange ones. It's like, what?
Yeah.
You know, when they were going to have Robin appear in Batman Returns, but they cut it because it was too many characters.
Yeah.
I think he was going to be played by Marlon Wayans.
Really?
Now I'm curious. Of what could have been.
Yeah, I mean...
Because it's just like... with the Batman and Superman, at least Batman, it sounds like a lot for Superman, but he looks like Burton really does a great job with casting.
Yeah, if he does the casting, or whoever, if he gets the same person on his team who does the casting, apparently they got it, because that's interesting.
Oh my god, Burton, if you want a paycheck... When they reboot DC, be there at the auditions.
Yes, I would like to see a new Burton DC production. But yeah, it really makes me curious if the movie of Teen Titans Go to the Movies is a bit, if it feels different once you're actually watching it than the trailers present it.
I wonder if it's a little bit like people are just like, this looks so bad, and then it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be.
That could be.
Even the score... I have no interest in seeing this movie. I don't care. I'll watch Teen Titans The Judas Contract at home. By the way, if you haven't seen it, Teen Titans The Judas Contract's a really good movie.
Oh, I gotta check it out.
So, there's also Justice League versus Teen Titans. Not very good. I'll just say the Justice League stuff is good. The Titans is...
Okay. I've been meaning to
a little bit too much trying to be like the TV show.
Oh, okay. I've been meaning to see the first one you mentioned.
It's good. It's really good. You should check it out.
I've wanted to.
Although I think they did the similar story arc on the show, The Judas Contract.
I haven't seen every episode of the show because at the time I was just living in the dark ages and I just watched what was on and I would miss an episode here and there. But yeah, so I don't remember any of the plot threads in that show. But maybe it shows my level of bias. I've never seen an episode of Teen Titans Go. I've seen trailers for this movie.
Never watched an episode. I've watched 3, and it's been horrible. It's been one of the worst experiences of my life. I hated it. I'm just like, we canceled Young Justice for this crap? And then you look at the guide. I want to watch a cartoon. That's all they have on Cartoon Network is Teen Titans Go, Teen Titans Go. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
I watch Justice League Action on Cartoon Network. Every commercial break, there's a stupid ad for Teen Titans Go. I'm just like, stop it!
It's ruining your life, I can tell. Well, yeah. I just wanted to have us eat our own words on that, so...
want to hear a sad story?
Sure.
Want to hear it? Sure. Yeah. I would love to hear a sad story. So, it was recently the 10th anniversary of The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
And I was hoping for something to happen.
Yeah.
Hoping for a re-release. Then I saw online The Dark Knight The Dark Knight is returning to theaters for its 10th anniversary for 1 week. I was like, oh! I open it, and I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so ready. And I see 4 movie theaters it will be at in the United States. Just like, don't!
No. I would have loved to have seen.
I haven't looked. I should check our local AMC on you know the one, right? It used to be Star Theater.
Right.
Because I remember, the day that Marty went to the future and Back to the Future, they had all Back to the Future movies playing. I saw.
Oh. So
maybe I don't know. Maybe I missed
hope.
it
There's hope
since we passed the 10th anniversary. Any thoughts about The Dark Knight 10 years later?
Gee, I wish I would have. I had a plan to watch it around the time of the anniversary.
Me too.
And I didn't
get around to it.
Yeah. I mean, just from the same memories I have from the last time I watched it,
which was,
I don't know, probably a couple years ago or something.
I rewatched it a few weeks ago.
It's still probably my favorite Batman movie.
Yeah, I really like it. When it came out, it was my favorite. Now it's the Burton movie's my favorite again.
Yeah,
it's nice to have another Batman versus Joker movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And, you know, when we talk about, like, Spider-Man, it wasn't afraid of being compared.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the only issue is Two-Face, 5 minutes, and then...
Yeah. I still, like, that's another thing that makes it so good to me, is just, like, those are easily my 2 favorite Batman villains, and they're both in that.
Oh, man, I remember being, like, so excited because Joker and Two-Face were talking to each other, like, when they're in the hospital. Like, it's always cool, like, watching, like, the old 60s Batman show, because there would be a few times they team up where it's just like, oh my god, Joker is talking to the Penguin, and then Penguin takes over in the movie series for him.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a crossing of worlds.
Oh, man. 2
faces of villain. Three face.
Oh, yes.
There you go. There's the name for the next movie. The Batman 3-Face.
Oh,
there
man.
You go. I'm writing ideas for you. Just like our Christmas extended universe idea.
Do we want to quickly go through some 2 rabbit holes and then we'll wrap this up?
Sure.
Oh my god, this stupid all the
Camera's
time.
betraying us again.
So I have a few rabbit holes. Not as much as I would have liked to, but you know, we were focused on this.
Yeah.
Where did it go? Okay, here we go. All right. What are your 3 favorite trilogies?
3 favorite trilogies. Wow.
This was one I forgot to do last time. I tried to make them all superhero-y, but what are your 3 favorite trilogies?
Let's see here. I wish I had more time to really think about...
a trilogy of trilogies.
Okay, so one of them is going to be the Lord of the Rings trilogy. There'll be an easy one right there, just off the bat. I feel like it's an obligation, just because 90% of all lists would have this. I would say the original Star Wars trilogy.
Normally, I would say you can't do it because it's no longer a trilogy, but it was a trilogy for so long that you can count
we
it.
kind of consider them different trilogies. I don't know. I could think of a different answer, because, like, personally...
No, add Star Wars.
Okay. Well, because, like, part of me says it because I'm such a Star Wars fan now, but, like, throughout the scope of my whole life, I've not been a Star Wars fan for forever. So, for most of the years of my life, I wouldn't have said that.
But now...
Yeah.
You see the light.
Yeah. Let's see. I see the light.
One more
Saber.
trilogy. You picked the 2 most cliche favorite trilogies.
I know I did. That's why I was just like, God, I hate that I just said that. I'm trying to think of something obscure that make me look really cool and hip. But like I keep thinking of oh, I like that. Oh, there's only 2. I like that. No.
I like that, but there's 5.
yeah, that'll happen. So
I mean, no one can. Next year, you could say this year you could say Avengers trilogy, but not next year.
There's the only other trilogy that's even coming to my head is Toy Story, and that's near perfect. Like last time I said it's more iconic. I won't even go there again. But
just by reminding people, we've already got some hate.
Yeah, so that's my current. That's currently what I'd say is those 3. But I wish I could think of others. Period. Like I can't name another trilogy right now. Is the problem. Indiana Jones is no longer a trilogy.
And you didn't count it since it was
kind of
a
the
while.
Same thing. But I don't even I would put those. I would put the 3 I just said above that. I don't know. What's your 3?
My 3 trilogies are. I'm just curious. Would you like to take a guess?
Okay. So it has to be a trilogy. Captain America.
Okay.
Spider-Man. Sam Raimi Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of more trilogies.
You're coming to me now. Oh my god! It's like I'm like a mental patient, and now I'm off all my medication, and the voices are here inside my head.
I can't think because I would have to think on whether I would throw the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy in there. But I don't have time, so I'm sticking with my answer because I don't have time. Gosh.
You got 2.
Okay. And I was correct on them?
Yes,
Okay.
I was surprised.
And Toy Story.
Oh, you got him.
I guess. Okay. Very good.
Got him. My 3. Although, one I won't be able to say, apparently, next year. The Toy Story one.
Oh, yeah. Well, with judging by their track record, hopefully it'll be a good quadrilogy.
Yes. Okay, this just came to me right now.
Okay.
Are there any, like, classic movies? Not even, like, classic. Now, it doesn't have to be, like, 40s or something.
I know
like Casablanca or Citizen Kane.
Classic in pop culture.
Are there any, like, classic movies that you're just like, someday I need to get to this?
True.
You can, like, 3 of them.
Okay, one big one just came to mind. I don't know if it would be my ultimate answer, but I think we talked about before that, like, I'm not totally sure if I've actually seen Jurassic Park. I'm not positive. Like, it feels like I have, but I really don't know.
Just like, I think I did, but I don't know.
So I've always had that feeling. It's like, maybe I'll watch it and I'll be like, okay, I've seen this.
Have you seen any of the sequels or no?
Probably not. Well, yeah, no, I don't think so.
It's scary when you have to debate your past. Like, I don't know.
It's so prevalent in pop culture that I hear about it all the time. I know tons of scenes. I know the water bouncy thing. I know the clever girl thing. I know that the velociraptors are in the kitchen. And that they're in a Jeep. Jeff Goldblum's in it.
Yes.
I don't know. Like, I guess I probably saw it as a child, but I don't remember it. I don't know.
Remember that? Did you ever play the Jurassic Park video game at Chuck E. Cheese? It's like where you're in like the car or something, and you got like the red
familiar.
or blue gun, and you're shooting at the dinosaurs.
Sounds familiar.
Of course, that works. Shooting at the dinosaurs.
Yeah, perfectly good stuff. What classic movie? Have you had one that you've always thought, like, you need to get around to that?
I've got 3 that I'm just like, I need to get... I could say 4, because I was reminded of one, like, I need to try and watch sometime.
Yeah.
So, the 4 are, in no particular order, I should probably try to watch... I want to hit my phone. Sorry.
Yeah.
I should probably try to watch one of the Lord of the Rings movies someday.
Yeah, because... That's definitely my number 1 favorite trilogy. But if we were going back, that was the one I was confident about.
You're just like, this is the one.
Star Wars and Toy Story, if I have a feeling I could think of something better. And yeah, I said it. I said better. But it feels like at the same time, those are so classic that they feel right. But I'm most confident about Lord of the Rings.
Another is, someday I hear everyone talk about it. Someday I should try to watch The Godfather.
That was... I actually am not sure if I've seen... Like that. I feel the same way as Jurassic Park. I was once educated on, like I know I saw Goodfellas, which is another, like mobster, gangster type movie. I can't remember if I saw The Godfather. Okay, so...
Another one is, I've never actually seen The Wizard of Oz.
Really?
I've never actually sat down and watched it.
I've seen it multiple times.
I know that it starts in black and white and it goes to color.
Yeah.
And that's it. I remember they used to air on TV Land and sometimes Cartoon Network. I'm just like, oh, no. Cartoon Network.
Yeah. Right. Not a cartoon.
Not a cartoon.
Yeah. You said you maybe had 4.
Yes. Everyone, I always hear people talk about this comedy movie.
Okay.
And I don't usually watch a lot of comedy because I think live action comedy mostly sucks. Someday I should try to watch Anchorman.
Oh yeah, I've seen that a couple times too, and I do like that one. I saw it a long time ago. It's possible I had a different sense of humor then, but I do like it. Classic is debatable, but I guess it was really considered.
It's beloved.
Yeah, it's pretty beloved. And it's very absurd, but it is good.
So we have 2 more rabbit hole questions, I'm pretty sure, and then we'll save the rest for later. Okay, I answered this last time.
Okay.
So you get to answer it. What superhero costume would you want to own? Like, you could put it on, like, a mannequin and a glass case. I said Michael Keaton's from Batman Returns.
Yes. Trying to think. Like, I mean, I'm just thinking about like what would look the best on display. If you just had like a big old glass case with a suit in it, for example, I can't picture a Spider-Man costume looking that cool just like on a mannequin. So that does lead me to think Batman, because that would just look really cool on display.
Now you have a bunch of Batman choices, so which one would you want on display?
We've said before how I'm a real big fan of the yellow oval.
Yes.
I'm a lover of the yellow oval, so
now you have 4 choices if we throw in Adam West.
Yeah. But I think I would more likely go with, like, I think I remember us saying that it was
there's Batman 89, Batman Returns, or Batman Forever.
That's actually makes the decision really tough, because I think when we went through, I kind of remember saying that the Batman Returns one was my favorite, based on looking at them. But my favorite when I was a kid and watching those was always Batman Forever. So there's that nostalgia.
I mean, look, let's be honest. All 3 basically are the same thing. The only difference is that Batman Forever has a black belt.
Yeah.
And the yellow is a little faded.
Yeah, I think I would go another.
Oh my god!
I think I'd go with Batman Forever, because I don't even remember Batman Returns as well.
Batman Returns is like my least favorite of the original 4.
Yeah.
But I just think it, like, the costume I think looks so perfect. But I'll take the Batman Forever one.
Yeah.
I'll take the original Batman. I'll take Batman and Robin, although I might paint the yellow on the thing.
I love the yellow oval.
I want the yellow.
Yeah. They changed the costume design for Batman in the comic run currently. I thought I saw that.
They did. It could be a story on here.
Oh, really?
Really?
Should we maybe end this part 1?
We'll ask one last question.
All right.
Favorite Batmobile?
Gotta be. I feel like for me, it's probably gotta be Batman 89.
I'll go with the same. Batman 89.
Like, that just seems the most iconic to me. I don't know.
So do you have a least favorite one?
I mean, I'm not usually that big of a fan of, like I like a lot more sleek detail, like 89. The Nolan trilogy one is just like it's like clunky, squarish. Like, that design kind of aesthetic is not my favorite. I like the
Snyder Batmobile more than I do the Nolan. Oh, that was based on Frank Miller's Batman, where in Dark Knight Returns he has like an actual tank as a Batmobile.
Yeah.
And it's even they say like he's in like the tank, and like Robin was one who would call it the Batmobile.
I mean, I think it's really cool to see in the movie. Like, it looks really cool, like when he's driving around in it and the action sequences with it. Like, I like it in the movies. I don't even think I would necessarily change out the Batmobile in those movies, like, because it's fine that it exists in that. But in my personal design preference, I don't like very like clunky tank-like designs like that. So yeah, that'd be my least favorite.
My least favorite might be the Tumbler too. Although when I was little, there was one that I didn't like.
Really?
It was the one from Batman Forever that I would always call the Sharkmobile.
Oh yeah,
because it has the fin.
Yeah, I remember that now.
And I just remember like remember when Dick Grayson takes the Batmobile and is just driving it around.
Yeah.
There's like the shark fin splits into 2, so it's wings. I'm just like, man, Robin knows how to drive it.
Yeah, I guess he does too. Amazing. We still have a lot of Comic-Con news.
Yes, we have a lot of Comic-Con news.
Tons.
So much to get through. We went a little bit in a rabbit hole. A little bit here and there.
By choice, in a way. Yeah. We were pretty concise with the topics.
Yes.
But
we got a lot still to get through, guys.
So, stay tuned and make sure to catch part 2 of the SDCC 2018 special comment section episode.
Yes.
And as always, keep falling down that rabbit hole.